All right, welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. We got NeoFly mission here in Sweden, and we're going to be staying in Sweden for this entire flight. So appreciate you tuning in, appreciate the love and support. As always, here's our flight plan. We're going to be departing from runway number 1 and heading on over. So we're at the bottom of Sweden, and we're going to be heading on over to this island, which is also part of Sweden. And we're going to be landing in runway number 13. Or no, runway 3. All right, interesting enough. That might be why we're having an issue with Beyond ATC. Nope, that's showing runway number 3. Nonetheless, we're having an issue with Beyond ATC. It's not recognizing some of these waypoints. So we're going to fly without it today. So once again, appreciate you tuning in, appreciate the love and support. We're going to get this thing up in the air and going. So since we don't have Beyond ATC, we're going to do this without air traffic control. So nonetheless, what we would do at this point is get our weather if we can. If not, we would tune to ground and request startup, which we just did. And then we're going to go ahead and turn on some lights here. Safety passenger lights. And then we're going to have some remaining stuff up here. So we're going to have the pitot heat on, and we're going to have the emergency lights not enabled. So emergency lights are over here. Pitot heat is down here. So we got those off, and now we just have the parking brake on. So at this point, we can go ahead and set our cruising altitude, or at least a start. We'll start with 12,000, and then go to our heading. We'll select this. So we're going to be departing from runway number, what was it, 1? Yeah. So we can probably pretty much tune that to like 10 degrees or so. And then at this point, we would go ahead and request our taxi instructions. And once we get those, put some 15 degrees of flaps on, release our parking brake, not hit the building. And we would go ahead and taxi on down to runway number 1. So at this point, we'd actually tune to tower, make sure our squawk is good, and get clearance to take off. Once we get clearance to take off, we would finish taxiing on down here on the active runway. Go ahead and release our flaps. Brake. It's all the skid marks. And we would go ahead and take off.
Pilot, have a smooth flight, if you know what I mean.
release our landing gear. Adjust our heading. Crossing over 7,000. Speeds at 173, we're good. Going up into the clouds.
Altitude.
Coming up to 12,000. Leveling out. Alright, reducing throttle to cruise. Alright, there we have it. So now we're up in the air. We're at a 12,000 foot cruise altitude, which is fine because we do not have ATC going. That's my sugar level. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and take care of that, and in the meantime we're going to go ahead and pause the video here at the 7, almost 8 minute mark, and we'll tune in once we get a little closer. So appreciate you tuning in. See you in a bit. Alright, so we are back, and we are currently 20 miles outside of the airport. So what we're going to do is go ahead and get ready for landing here. So we're going to reduce our speed a bunch because we're at 290, and then we're going to go ahead and reduce our elevation here down to 2,500 is probably pretty good. And we're going to go ahead and turn on heading mode, head on over to the right here. We're going to reduce our elevation. So we're 17 miles out. I'm going to go ahead and hold our altitude here, reduce our speed down to below 200. Do landing gear, flaps. Resume our descent. Head on over to the left. Airport should sit around there. I think we got the runway in sight already. Alright, we do, so we're looking pretty good here. Let's see, a little information on the runway here. Sits at 14 degrees. Go ahead and set our 14 degree because we are pretty much lined up. The runway is 6,562 feet in length, and halfway down the runway is some parking, as well as all the way at the end on taxiway E, F, and D, and B. So we're looking pretty good either way here. Go ahead and bring this down to 1,500. 1,400 is good enough. We'll pretend that we got clear to land. Sitting at 7 miles out. We're going to hold altitude. Alright, so we're looking pretty good. So we're going to go ahead and release autopilot. Take full control. All right, coming in for a nice landing here over runway number 3.
We have touchdown. Taxi to parking and shut down your engine.
All right, so we will go ahead and park all the way over at the end. So taxiway C. Ooh, contact ground. Request to assigned parking. Actually, we'll go ahead and head on down that one. We'll go to D. And then this way, it is a jumble. And then F. And we'll go ahead and just park over here. All right, so with that, we'll cut our engines down.
Transporter. Disembarkation in progress. Stand by.
All right, so there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go ahead and see what our landing looked like. So minus 138, very good landing. We got all the bonuses, all good. So we currently sit at 32,850,000. Go ahead and grab our thumbnail here.
Transporter from dispatch. Disembarkation completed. Thank you and good day.
All right, there we have it. So appreciate you tuning in. Appreciate the love and support. We'll see what we got next, and we'll see you soon.